mean, I'm not hoping for it. I hope that it just comes. I do it by myself, yo. I ain't trying to sit here.
Not something like that drastic happening. Hey, as y'all can see on camera, man, we're just gonna get this rolling, and it's a good topic that I want to talk about. But if you guys saw him on camera, I got my boy in the motherfucking building. Castro Escobar, man,
Right.
friend of the show, friend outside the podcast. You know, we've had you on here 3 times now.
Yeah, about three times.
Yeah.
The third time. Third time's the charm. Shit.
Yeah. And my boy's been dropping music, you know, nonstop these last couple of months. So we're gonna talk about that. But something I wanted to talk about, man. How you been, bro? Last time we talked, you were
Sober.
sober. You know what I'm saying? As you can see on camera, the boy ain't sober right now. I mean, he's sober.
It's my first one, just to start off. Nah, man, I've been blessed, you know what I'm saying? I surrounded myself around a lot of good people. Started pretty much, you know, picking the bad seeds out, you know, how do you say, like, picking the bad apples out the batch?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Trying to take care of myself as far as mental goes. Well, as far as health goes, I haven't really, you know what I'm saying? But we're still here. We still
baby steps.
Baby steps, you know. I actually sparred my brother yesterday because he's training. Man, I need to get back in that gym. I need to drink more water as I have a beer in my hand.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, just been, you know, trying to keep trying to stay busy with the music, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you told me a couple months ago, probably a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, you know what I'm saying? Like, be consistent and shit, you know.
Yeah.
Got my team with me and shit. So
and what's crazy, bro, like, you know, I tell you that obviously because well, I think we have a connection outside of the podcast industry or of the business industry. But I was talking to some other people about having you on, and I was getting the same feedback. So it was cool hearing it from other individuals in the mix. And one of them was like, well, you know, Tex was one of them. He's like, man, get him in here. We need to get his shit going again. He needs to gain that traction again. So he said that. I talked to, I'm a name drop. I mean, Smooth Vega. Shouts out to Smooth Vega. I talked to Smooth Vega. And he was telling me, he's like, man, Castro's one of the people that are talented. You just need to stay on him and have him keep pushing. And
Smooth said that?
Yeah.
Damn.
So you know, shouts out to them for seeing that in you. And now it's just gonna be up to you. But to touch on this, because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like when you started to slow down a little bit, or I guess having that bumpy road in the industry, was when you were going through it, like with mental stuff, right? Like not, you know, possibly.
Absolutely. I mean, I can't. I'm not gonna sit here and say that that's not what it was. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the first thing that definitely affected me, and I mean, it still affects me, but it's like I learned how to live with it. Was definitely like, I don't mean to sit here and beat a dead horse, but it was obviously my mother's death. You know what I'm saying? And it just, you know, it was right at the peak of my. Oh, maybe not the peak, but it was at a very high state of my music career, you know what I'm saying? And just to hear that type of news, and then, you know, go back to Mexico and see that happen, like, you're not the same person anymore.
Yeah.
You know? I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to, you know, so for a lot of the time I was very troubled. I was making a lot of music that was very, I guess, I was putting out music that was like, for me, I mean, but of course it was for everybody that was going through it like me.
Yeah.
Not in my particular maybe situation, but for people that was feeling like down like me. And after that, I definitely did slow down. It wasn't the same, you know?
Yeah.
It wasn't the same. And you know, of course, I had a lot of bumps after that, and I just wasn't taking them how I would have if my mother would have still been here.
Something you just said, bro, and I hate that you said it, because to the people that have never been through something like that, it does sound like beating a dead horse. Yeah. Right, but to people that have gone through it, and this is from my experience. When I would hear people tell me stuff, like I had one of my closest friends. I've known him since 5th grade. Mm-hmm. I remember when his dad passed, and you know they weren't close, but he would constantly bring it up, and in my head I was like, you can't continue to make that excuse, bro. Like it can no longer be an excuse. You need to snap out of it, and life keeps going. My dad would always tell us that when my older brother passed away. My dad told us that, like. La vida sigue, right? It sounds cruel as fuck, but it's the reality. True, however, a lot of people don't get it. That's why I say I hate that you said it, because some people do feel like that. Like we're beating the dead horse. It's an excuse. When my dad passed, it hit me the same way. Yeah. Like you lose that to me, I love my mom. I still have my mom. Um, but my dad was that one that would push me a little extra. My mom was there for me in every way.
Right.
But my dad was that one that I wanted to be like dad. I wanted to make my dad proud. I wanted,
that was your role model, your idol, everything.
And when you get hit with, like, damn, my dad's gone.
Yeah.
And I was told, somebody that I really loved at the time told me, and it hurt like hell. They were like, ever since your dad passed, you changed. Like, when are you gonna move on? Like, you bro.
Can't, yeah, you have to you gotta learn, bro. You gotta learn. I just posted about that because about a week ago, I think it was like a week ago. It was my mom's. Was it a week ago? Probably it was on the 9th. It was my mom's 7th year death anniversary, and her birthday was 4 days ago on the 13th. And what I posted was, you pretty much have to learn how to live again, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's like you have her for so many years, and then boom, after that year, like you just have to learn how to live life again.
Yeah.
Living without the person that you is just there. Like that's like starting to learn how to live without legs, bro.
Yeah.
Like you've never done it, and you have to do it now from now on. So it's like, yeah, you can sit here and be like, oh, I ain't got no more legs. It sucks, but you have to learn how to fucking live without your fucking legs. You gotta get a wheelchair or some shit, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I feel like better late than never, So now I feel like, it's kind of, I do look back at a lot of those things, and I'm like, damn, bro, I used to sit here and be whining about this shit, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck was I doing? But I'm glad I woke up off of that shit because I don't do it how I used to. But of course, yes, I grieve and I still feel bad, and like I used to, and I think that is good because I didn't lose the love for the music while I was grieving that bad, you know what I'm saying? And shit, we here,
And why do you think it's so hard for us to, I'm not gonna say move on, because you don't move on, you just adjust and you get used to it.
You learn.
I feel like, and this is my opinion, and I want to get yours. I feel like as male Hispanics, Mexican male, and this is because whenever I would start like breaking down, like I would cry, I would never cry in front of my mom because my mentality was, who am I to cry in front of my mom? Like my mom ain't going through it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would only cry when I was driving somewhere and I'll start thinking about my dad. Boy, I start crying. And then I remember like my dad's words. No llore chingón. Usted es hombre. Like, you know what I mean?
Be a man.
And I say that to say, I feel like that's what gets our mental state all fucked up. Yeah. Right? Porque somos hombres. El hombre no llora. Like.
Absolutely. 1,000%.
And then we don't know how to open up to people.
We don't. We don't, bro. I mean, I'm guilty. I'm not even. I don't even want to say I'm ashamed of saying it because I feel like it's very common for us, either the second generation or the first generation of us male Mexicans. I'm first generation. You know what I'm saying? And bro, a lot of us we don't know how to express our feelings unless we're doing this, or unless we're in a situation to where it's life or death, or if it's a situation of where you about to lose it. We don't know how to express ourselves because we was taught since a kid like you ain't got. There is no such thing as depression. There is no such thing as oh you're going through a breakup.
It's in your head.
It's in your head. You know what I'm saying? It's in your head. Like you're crazy. Get up. Like go to school. Get up. Go to work. You know what I'm saying? So even me now as an older person, you know what I'm saying? Like I still don't know how to express that shit sometimes. Sometimes I just, you know what I'm saying, just shut the fuck up and keep it all in, bro. And that's not healthy, but that's just the way that we was brought up. You know what I'm saying? It's not the right thing to do, but at least being aware that that's not the right thing to do is a step to, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't expect somebody that doesn't know how to express their emotions or doesn't know how to let them out correctly, you know what I'm saying? From one day to another, just be like, okay, this is how you do it. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, bro, I mean, like you just said, who am I to sit here and cry in front of my mom like she's not going through it?
Yeah.
And it's crazy because like I remember whenever I was going through it, I would tell my dad, I'd be like, blah, blah, this and that. And he'd be like, stop being selfish. You're not the only one that's doing it. I lost my wife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He'd tell me shit like that, and I'd be like, after a little while, you know, I woke up, and then he told me one day, he was like, look, at the end of the day, nobody gives a fuck, you know? At the end of the fucking day, the world's gonna keep spinning, nobody gives a fuck. So you gotta take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's another, that's him being a Mexican dad. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, at the end of the day, we all go through that, bro. And I feel like, I don't think that it's fair. I don't think that it's right, but I feel that I feel like he has a point at the end of the day. Like you gotta take care of yourself before you sit here, and especially as a man, bro. Like you gotta sit here and, hey man, like, yeah, I feel this, but I still gotta go to work. Hey, I feel this, but I still gotta take care of my kids. I feel this, but I still gotta take care of my girl. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So, I mean,
how do you feel that affects your career, your relationships, not just like girlfriends? I'm talking about relationships with other people. And the reason I asked is I was reading this book, and on the book it talks about the stuff that we go through and don't speak about, and then we find any little excuse. Like for example, when you said when you're drinking and you just let it out, right? So you know your girlfriend has nothing to do with the negative things that have happened in your past,
right?
But then any little thing that she says tonight and you're drunk, that is sparks something, and not saying that it does, but I'm saying, like, how do you feel like it affects you as a person?
Yeah, I mean, that's the downside of it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like hold on, let me try to understand the question correctly. So you're saying, like, we're having those type of
not being able to open up, how does that affect you? Like, being that mentality of,
I mean, I feel like, now I understand what you're saying. I feel like it affects. I feel like it affects it to the max, bro. I feel like not being able to open up or feel like whether like you always feeling like somebody's out to get you, or you thinking of this, or you have something in your head and then somebody tells you something, so you thinking that they thinking that, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. I feel like it definitely affects your everyday life, bro. Whether it be in a relationship, whether it would be with your brothers, whether it would be with your cousins, your family, your friends, because you can sit here and be with a homeboy or something, and you could be going through it, and they might not even know the situation, and they might say something like, let's say I'm I don't know, struggling to write some shit, right? And then somebody next to me could be like, oh man, like, damn, Castro, like, imagine like them niggas that can't pin the pen down there. And I'm in my head, I'm like, niggas, you talk about me, you know, it's like, because I don't know how to be like, I'll take it personal. And I feel like, bro, that's real big with us, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially in a Mexican household, bro. Like, I feel I'm just kind of like, hold on, nigga, like, what is you trying to say? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like not being able to open up, or being like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, be able to open up and speak on it, because you just grew up in that type of environment, bro. I feel like that shit really affects everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether you're in a relationship or whether you talking to your family or friends or anything, you know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody's gone through it at one point.
But then, as being a creator, there's a upside to it, right? Right? Because one of your songs, you talk about how the only time you vent is when you're in the studio or drinking Don Julio. When you to Jack Daniels and Don Julio, you're in the, So how has that helped you become a better artist? Just the live lessons and the stuff that you've been through these last, you know, we'll just say 7 years since that's when your life changed. How do you feel that has helped you in the creative way, in your writing, making you a better artist?
I feel like the things that I speak about, man, I feel like a lot of people are scared to talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just me being very honest with myself and with everybody around me. I feel like a lot of people have these thoughts, a lot of people have these feelings, and they don't know how to express it. You know what I'm saying? So I, first and foremost, and it's going to sound selfish, I do this shit, whenever I do music like that, I do it for myself. I don't do it for nobody else. Yeah. I don't do it to try to change the world. I don't do it for nothing. Whenever I make music in that way of my feelings, not of my people, not of my Mexican people, or, you know what I'm saying, of people that grew up like me. I'm talking about my feelings of me, my personal thoughts, my feelings. I make that for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's a good thing that I do. I don't think that it's a good thing that no, let me rephrase that. It is a good thing that I am able to have this talent and be able to put it down on a piece of paper and be able to put it out in a song. Because even though I'm not trying to sit here and make a change or anything, I know that people that are going through the same shit,
they're gonna relate.
They can relate.
Yeah.
And it helps them. And I mean, I've listened to songs that have helped me, and I don't even know who the artist is. You know what I'm saying? And it's not for me to say like, oh yeah, like I'm trying to get these people to come to me because no, like it's just what I feel, how I feel, and if it helps you, so be it. And I'm eternally eternally thankful for that shit because, I mean, I feel like everybody looks for that. Everybody looks for some type of like, okay, I'm not alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So hell yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely a bad thing that it happens, but I'm so glad that I'm able to like put it out there. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you something. Being an artist, being somebody that's out here that people know you, people rock with your music, and you as a person. You just mentioned you do this for yourself.
That part.
That part.
That part. Because I want to speak for the people like me too. Like these are my people. Like I look,
and that's
you know
what
what
I'm
I'm saying. Like for everybody like me, but I'm talking about in that particular.
Yeah.
Like with my feelings and my thoughts when I'm, you know what I'm saying. Like whenever you hear the deep shit, that's for me.
Boy, so hold on, don't be trying to switch what I said.
Switch that shit up.
No, so what I was trying to say was as far as that. Now, when you say my people, it reminded me something. I remember you showed me your green card because I didn't believe your actual name, and then you're like, "No, that is my name." So there's there's something going on right now here in America.
Right.
How do you feel about speaking up on what's going on before I even say exactly what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, I feel like it's important for us. I feel like it should be something that every Mexican artist should speak on. Not just me, not just the activists, not just the people that fight for this shit on a daily basis. I feel like everybody that's Mexican or Mexican American should speak on this because we all our roots come from this place.
Yeah.
We're being sent back, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm not throwing shade at anybody that doesn't speak on it because maybe they don't have the knowledge about it, or maybe they don't feel as passionate about it or close to their own culture like how I am or how a lot of us are. But I do definitely feel that it is important to spread awareness on it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I mean, I spoke to you about it. Like I crossed the river over here with my mom. I done experienced the racism from
so there was a point you were here illegally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy, bro? Like
hello, Ice. Get this guy out of the building.
You know what's crazy? Bro, I lost my green card, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure, like, nothing's going to happen to me if they look my shit up, but I do need to get a new one. My girl told me, like, she's like, we going to have to get a new one.
Like, expired, you haven't renewed it?
No, it's not expired. Hell no. It's not expired.
Oh.
It's not expired.
It's really been the car ice on your ass.
No, hell no. No, I just lost it. But I do need it. I need it. I mean, it's like that's like my.
How you gonna get in the club now?
That's like my wristband.
You lost your license. Now you lose your green card.
Oh, I don't have no type of identification.
Yeah.
I go to the store, and if it ain't a local store that I go to, my girl has to get my beer for me or a couple switches. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have my ID.
Now you better get on it. Now it's not the time to be losing your damn residence card.
This is the worst time.
See, but on a more serious note, to what you said. I've had some people hit me up about me not speaking on it, and I'll make my comments. I don't speak on it for what you just said. I'm not well educated on it.
And that's fair. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. Like somebody like you, I don't like how you say it yourself. Like I'm not gonna talk about something that I don't know.
Correct.
And I'm not sitting here bashing people like yourself that you're not educated on it because. How am I gonna get mad at somebody that doesn't know about something? Yeah, like I can't be like, or that's just like when people get mad at people that are like, you're Mexican and you don't know Spanish. How you gonna get mad at that if you was raised with nothing but people that speak English? You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that I'm bashing you.
No, I don't care when people bash me. Like when I got hit up on the messages, I was like, first of all, I wasn't even doing the podcast, so how am I going to speak on it? Second, I was blessed enough to be brought to this country when I was 4 years old.
Oh, so you were born in Mexico?
I was born in Mexico. I was born in Tamaulipas.
No shit.
I don't know.
I think you did mention that.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know nothing about the process itself. I don't know how it happened. I just know my parents brought me here.
Your whole life was here.
And I've been here for the last 33 years.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm recently learning about, I have some friends that are under the DACA program. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know what it was. And they're educating me on it. They're like, yeah, it means that we can never become a resident. We can never become a citizen unless we marry a natural born citizen.
Shout out E.C. Martinez.
That's what he's under?
I'm just saying, shout out E.C. Martinez.
So, so my friend was telling me this, and I'm like, so what now? And then they're like, well, you know, President Trump is about to get rid of, or trying to get rid of the sponsorship for DACA people. That's cold-blooded.
Yeah.
Like these people had, you know, I can speak for her because I know her. She works hard. She doesn't get into any fuck shit, like, you know, criminal stuff or anything like that.
She's flying straight.
Been paying her renewal every time that she needs to do it. I can't remember how many years. She told me every how many years. But and yeah, those people are about to get hit with, well, you're not a citizen, you're not a resident, so
you gotta go.
Yeah. So, and again, that's the reason I don't speak on stuff like that a lot, because all this is new to me. Like, you call me entitled, whatever you want. But the truth is, I was 3 years old when my parents went through the process. So what am I going to speak about?
Right.
How about how, oh, hell yeah, I'm a resident. And, you know, I don't know why y'all don't become residents. I know it's a long-ass process.
Hell yeah, it's a long-ass process.
And I think a lot of people shy away from it because of the way the media is. Like, social media will be quick to, don't support that dude because he's against his people. Don't support that dude because he voted for Trump or whatever.
Yeah.
And I saw my boy C's, shout out to Big C's hate approved the other day. He's put, just because I like apples don't mean I hate oranges.
That's a good way to put it.
Just because you voted for some things that you like from Trump doesn't mean you support everything Trump stands for.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of fuck shit he stands for. I can't even vote, so you know, it is what it is. But you know what I mean? But yeah, I think now is the time for creators to speak up and be more people that are familiar with it and be more outspoken on about their people, what they stand for, and I also think it's the time for people to not try to ban everybody that doesn't see things the way you do. You know, the cancel culture shit has gotten out of hand.
Absolutely.
I grew up with people that don't necessarily, you know, different religions, different beliefs, different political views. It's all good, man. Like, you know, there's enough hatred in the world. We can't add more to it.
Yeah.
I don't know why they hate our people being in this country right now, but I mean,
it's technicalities, like technicalities to it or whatever. I understand, but morally, I feel like it's inhumane.
It is.
To a certain extent, you know what I'm saying? I do feel like, of course, if you out here fucking murdering people and shit, this and that, and this is not your country, okay, I feel that. But if you taking people back that are fine straight, you know what I'm saying, that don't have any type of, you know, I mentioned this a while back. It's like you trying to get a particular type of fish, and you throw a net out there, and you get 2 of those particular fish, but you get 100 other type of fish, and you still throw them out. Like, it's like, yeah, you caught 2 of them, but you got 100 other ones that shouldn't even be in that net. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, that's my thing about it, you know? And like how you said, like, I just expect the people that are educated on it, that do relate to it, that can speak up for people that don't have a voice, to do it, to do so. Because to me, man, I'm very big on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm very prideful over that, over my people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I came over here and, like I said, I experienced racism from plenty of races since I was a kid. I mean, we crossed over here. We went to Atlanta. And then from Atlanta, we moved down here to West Columbia.
Yeah.
Down there to West Columbia. I mean, we in the age, but, you know. So I done experienced it, and I done witnessed it be put on, racism be expressed towards my mother that didn't know English, towards my father that he wasn't doing nothing but fucking working and getting fucked up at night, but going to work the next morning. You know what I'm saying? Like,
todo crudo, but he's still
todo
there,
crudo, pero he's still there. You know, but that's just what I believe in. You feel me? So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, nah, but again, if you're not educated on it, don't make a fool of yourself. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, let's get into the music, bro.
For sure.
The beginning of the podcast, we talked a little bit about being consistent.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I personally feel like that's something that has hurt you. Right, not being consistent. Now I understand what you were going through.
Right.
Cause like I said, I've had the similar experience where I was just like, man, fuck this podcast game. Like, I got bigger shit to worry about. You know what I mean? And in real life, we do, right?
Right.
The bigger picture, I guess you can say. However, I say that to say you have been more consistent as of late. You know, you've dropped maybe how many do I have here? 6 tracks in the last 3 months, 4 months.
Last 4 months, I dropped 6 tracks and 3 videos.
Yeah,
I'm about to drop another one tomorrow.
Another one tomorrow.
Tomorrow's about to drop. Tonight at midnight, probably.
Which one is that one?
Sonidero.
Sonidero. Okay, you released the single.
That's the one you were supposed to go to.
I know. You released the single, but the video just comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, I just got the video today. Shout out my boy Joe.
Shouts out. So Sonidero is the latest single.
Mm-hmm.
Before we talk about the previous song, let's talk about Sonidero. Because if you're going to drop tonight, look, I'll get home and I'll upload this shit to drop tomorrow. And then we can edit this shit quick. So Sonidero is the latest single. Mm-hmm. If you haven't checked it out, it's available on all streaming services. Make sure you guys check it out. Castro, Escobar, Sonidero. Talk to us about this single. What can people who haven't heard it, what can they expect from the song and what can they expect on the video? Okay.
So the song, I grew up on cumbias. Yeah. I'm from Rio Bravo, Tamaulipas.
Yeah.
I'm from the, shouts out to all the border towns in Tamaulipas. So we grew up on cumbias, you know what I'm saying? Aniceto Molina, Celso Peña, of course, Pegaso, Control, all that shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
what's Tejano, but yeah, I got you.
Well, you corrected me.
It is cumbia, though. It is cumbia.
But, so I've always wanted to look, I'm going to keep it a buck with you, bro. I'm going to be very honest right here in this podcast. I've been having this idea for over a fucking decade to mix the cumbia with the fucking trap and rap shit.
Yeah.
Me and EC were debating on this for a long time. And then out of nowhere, about 3 years ago, and I was like, damn, bro, we should have done this shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, bro, I do not want to do this because shout out my nigga OT. I was like, bro, OT is blowing up off of this shit with Lakota. Yeah. And I was like, bro, I don't want to do it no more. Like, I ain't trying to. And then he didn't really say anything about it. And then I was just like in my head, I'm like, I don't want to do it. But that's what I was like. I was raised off of this shit.
Yeah.
And I was just like, bro, like, if I find a fucking beat, I'm going to do it. And then I ran across my boy's YouTube page, Cartel Kush. Shout out Cartel Kush. He produced the track. And I heard it, and I was like, nah, fuck it. I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I just had fun with it. That was all it was, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, like, I love the dance cumbia. I was raised off of it, everything. So it's just like, at a point, I had an idea to just make like a little 5-track EP to make nothing but cumbia, trap, rap type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm just out there having fun with that particular track, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's a dope vibe. The video was just the homies. You know what I'm saying? We popped out. You know, homie popped out with the whips. You know, just out there having some fun, having some drinks. Shout out everybody out there. Stay faded. Shout out to Freeport, because Freeport's been showing me love like crazy. You know, shout out my nigga Wyo. You know, Go For Broke Entertainment. We out here. So hell yeah, you know, just go jam it. It's definitely a bop, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we out here for real.
To what you said, this goes back to what I said about how I hate social media and people, because I know what you're saying as far as dropping after OT. People will be quick to say shit like, "Oh, he's biting OT."
Yeah.
And just to be clear, and shouts out to OT, that's my boy. But just to be clear, OT did not start that shit either. He blew it up, but he did not start that. Shouts out to Chopaholic. Shouts out to Chingo Blend.
Okay. Yeah.
The originators. And then even before that, I know EC's gonna love this. This actually originated, the slow down cumbias and all that originated in Monterrey. So to all you uncultured swines, before y'all get on here talking shit, just know that started in Monterrey. Chapaholics brought it to Houston, blew it up in Houston, and then OT just took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, so I guess that's what I was trying to get to. Yeah. Like he put it in the spotlight. Like he put the spotlight to it into a bigger audience. You know what I'm saying? And
he cold with that shit.
Nah,
too,
bro.
It's just so natural at this point for him. Now, you know what I mean? Yeah, Shouts out to OT. But now, Sonidero's the latest single. Right. Now, before Sonidero, you recently dropped 1982 Part 2. Right. You dropped Risk It One Last Time. Mm-hmm. You dropped the Shook Ones Freestyle. Mm-hmm. Interlude is the other one. Right. And then Hot Boy. Yeah. And again, this is within the last 4 months. Is this all music you've been sitting on, or is this just all like the new Castro saying, you know what, I'm about to drop twice a month, once a month, and just because really that's how it should be.
It should be. It should have been like that a long time ago.
Yeah.
This ain't like this the thing, bro. Like I had a lot of music that I was sitting on, and I had a conversation with my engineer. Shout out C4, C4 Play, and he told me, he was like, man, you shouldn't be sitting on none of this, you know. He brought up an example of like, he was like, bro, Lil Wayne used to have so much material, and he said that it was too good for him not to put it out. He's like, you can't do that. Yeah. And that's my engineer that I go to record to. So if you really want to think about it, if he's telling you should drop the shit that you already recorded, rather than him telling you, nah, come and record some more, maybe drop some more, that would benefit him. But he's even telling me something that is not even benefiting him. He's telling me like, look, you already recorded it, put it out.
You already got it.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just, yeah, of course, it's been shit that I've been sitting on, but also it's been things that I've been, for example, like Shook Ones in 1982, Part 2, those were new. You know what I'm saying? Like, those were I wrote them, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was in the room while my girl was in the living room doing lashes. I was in the room with the same beat playing over and over for about 30 minutes straight. You know what I'm saying?
Her a headache and shit.
She probably going in there like, because I know she heard the whole process. She probably like, man, you playing the same beat over and over again. Like, and then I did it, and boom, the video came out. You know what I'm saying? Sonidero, I can't say the same. You know what I'm saying? Sonidero, I mean, I'm going to give y'all some. I'm not going to put everything out there, but I am going to say Sonidero's been sitting there for about 3 years, bro. Yeah. Sonidero's been sitting there for about 3 fucking years, dog. And it's like, to get the reaction out of people 3 years later of something that I wrote 3 years ago, and for me to show people the shit now, and they're like, bro, what the fuck? What the hell what are you doing? Yeah. I'm just like, I need to stop sitting on this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm only getting older. Like, I'm not going to look young forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, What you know? What am I really doing? Like, let's just fucking let all this shit go. I mean, I have no clue what could happen in the future. Just fucking let it all go. Let people enjoy it how you enjoying it when you by yourself listening to it in the car. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just a thing of finally like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it.
What I got to lose? Risking it one last time.
Risking it one last time. It's crazy because the first Risk It was my first music video I ever put out, and then that's why I named it that, bro. Risk It One Last Time. I named it that because I'm like, you know what? Let's risk it one last time. In 1982, it was in the first mixtape too. It was 1982. That's the first song I ever dropped. EC Martinez, shout out EC, he produced it. And then shout out my nigga Baker Young, because my nigga Baker Young's been doing a lot of beats for me. I was going through Baker Young's beat and I heard the same sample but on a trap beat. And that's why I started the same. I said, because I'm still in the mix, with intentions to find me a gimmick. And in the first one, I say, I'm just a whack ANC with intentions to find me a gimmick. Enough is never enough, and the sky isn't quite the limit. So I did the same thing, and even on the hook, I'm like, 1 time, 2 times, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just I felt it, bro. And I was like, man, hell no, like, I gotta drop it. Yeah. Because to me, at first, it was just kind of like, it sounds cool, blah, blah. Man, I dropped that shit. Everybody was like, man, what the fuck? He was like, hell yeah, that's the Castro we fucking know. That's the Castro we need. What the fuck have you been doing? Where you been at? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, if I'm getting the same feedback from everybody, it might not be the 30,000 people that fuck with me at one point, but at least 5,000 of them motherfuckers be like, bro, where you been at? For 5 years that I haven't been doing shit? Imagine if I would have been doing shit for 5 years. It would have been 100. It would have been 2. It would have been 3, 4, 5. You know what I'm saying? So just seeing that shit now is definitely motivation to keep on going. You feel me? And that's what it is, bro. You know, I just love. I mean, I love this shit, and like how we was speaking on it earlier, bro. Like, hell yeah, my mother's death and a lot of fucked up shit that happened in my music career definitely made me want to stop. But now that I'm in here, like, it ain't no stopping it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're definitely here. You know what I'm saying? So, hell yeah.
So, on a fan level, I appreciate the shit out of this music.
Appreciate you.
Because like I told you on the text message, like, bro, you need to stop fucking around. Like, you got it. Like, you need to drop more music. Is this a continuous thing? We're gonna keep seeing more singles like throughout the year, or are you currently working on an actual album or EP?
I got a project coming up.
Yeah,
I got a project coming up, and I'm gonna let it be known right here because I haven't really said it. But Fidel's food poisoning is coming very soon.
Yeah,
it'll probably be here in a month, maybe 2. But it is not. I'm not just gonna sit here and say, "Hey, this is coming." No, like it's here. It's already there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just even the order of the songs is coming out. Is already ready. I mean, I got this song with Jody. Shout out Jody. Coming out very soon. And definitely, man, we got Fidel's food poisoning because we had Fidel's breakfast, we had Fidel's lunch, we had Fidel's snack, we got Fidel's leftovers, and people are like, when is the dinner coming? The dinner's coming whenever it's gonna be ready. You know what I'm saying? The dinner is to me, I feel like dinner is the most. They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Nah, to me, it's dinner. Yeah. So that dinner is gonna be perfect. It's gonna be set up. The table's gonna be right. The drink's gonna be perfect. The wines is gonna be tasted and made sure that they fine down to the, you know what I'm saying? Everything, the forks and the knives gonna be in their place. Everything's gonna be perfect for it. You feel me? But Fidel's food poisoning is coming next. And it is coming very soon. So yes, I am working on a project. It is not an album. It is a mixtape, another mixtape like I've been dropping. So yeah, absolutely. You're not gonna. I'm not gonna disappear again. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
Absolutely not.
I don't know if you want. You say you would talk about it. I don't know if you want to talk about it. About one of the reasons you've been more consistent and you've been actually doing videos about being signed. Is this something we going? Should I just stop there? Should I cut this off the camera of the video?
No, we out here, man. I got me a nice deal, man, to somebody that actually believes in me. I am signed to Go For Broke Entertainment. You know, that's all I can say. I can't say much more, but I am signed to Go For Broke Entertainment. That is the label that I am signed to. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, man, like for them to believe in me, for them to really, I feel like they believe in me more than I do. Yeah. At a certain extent, I feel like, of course, a lot of people do. Like my girl tells me all the time, I don't know what you're doing. Like you need to, you know what I'm saying? EEC has been telling me since we was fucking kids, like, bro, he got tired of telling me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Of course, my boy Wyo, you know what I'm saying? My boy Eric, you do what I'm saying? A lot of people, even people that I don't really fuck with like that, they'll hit me up and be like, man, like, when are you dropping some shit? Yeah. Like I get messages all the time about it, you know? So, yes, I am signed. Shout out Go For Broke. You know what I'm saying? We out here.
Let me ask you something, man.
Go ahead.
Knowing that you're talented, do you ever feel some type of way when these top Latino artists lists drop? Does it ever make you feel a little like fuck? If I would stop fucking around, I would be on that list, or more like I know I'm better than these people on the list, and you don't have to name drop, you know what I mean? But do you ever feel some type of way about it?
That's a crazy question. That's a good question.
He's like, motherfucker, you didn't tell me you were gonna ask me this. That was
hold on. Let me see how I'm trying to find out the right way to answer this.
There's no right way, man. It's just
so. You know? I feel like these lists that these people make, or these top Latino or Mexican in Texas or whatever, I feel like this is kind of like they go off of not necessarily accomplishments, but off of, and not necessarily popularity, because
they definitely don't go off talent. Shouts out to everybody on that list, though.
I mean, we got. Hey, JVaz, don't put me in this shit like that. You saying it? I didn't say it, dog.
I said it.
I'm not saying it, dog.
I've said it a million times, though, so it's all good.
Look. I feel like it's based off of consistency. It's based off of a little bit of popularity. Maybe skills might be the least thing that it's based on. I do feel like whenever I see these lists, absolutely, there are a lot of very talented artists because OT's always on top.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And which is, like, I've said this before, like, ain't nobody fucking with my nigga right now.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody fucking with him. Hell nah. But then whenever I feel like sometimes I'll be like, oh, maybe this rapper should be up here and this rapper should be a little, and I'm not going to say no names, you know what I'm saying? But I do definitely think that it's based off of consistency, bro.
Yeah.
And the reason, I mean, I don't feel no type of way like, oh, I deserve that because, man, I haven't been doing shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But within a year, I should be in that bitch.
Yeah.
I promise you, how I'm doing this shit right now, I should be in that bitch.
Yeah.
I there is no doubt in my mind that I will be.
So it does work as fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
and I don't mean that in a bad way, but it does. No, because look, I ain't gonna lie. I feel some type of way when fucking podcasts have gotten nominated and mine don't. And I always look at it like, when's the last time any of these sorry motherfuckers started a conversation that people were actually discussing? Never. Because it's always the same corny ass questions. So, Castro Escobar, let us know, who is Castro Escobar? Where you from, man? Did you grow up on cumbias? So every time I see these lists, don't even get me. Remember when I told you I take shit personal?
right.
When a motherfucker tags another podcast and don't tag me, when they're like, tag the podcast that should be on Houston's top 10 or top 20, and they tag every other podcast but me. But that same motherfucker was just on my DMs asking me for an interview. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna charge your ass now, nigga. Like, I don't even drop the N-word on my podcast, and I just did. Because that should be pissing me the fuck off, boy. Like, oh, okay, you gonna be tagging these other dudes?
I feel that.
And I just don't feel like there's, obviously you got the Donnie Houstons. You can't fuck with Donnie. My quality is better, but Donnie is Donnie Houston.
Talking shit, man.
No, I'm not talking.
I'm not saying it like talking shit. I'm saying like, yeah, like.
I've reached out to Donnie,
right.
and I told him, hey, I can help your audio sound better, bro, because you have a little, in the background, it's like,
yeah.
And that shit gets annoying.
Right.
So I was like, hey, let me help you with that. He wasn't interested, whatever. But, again, you do have the Donnie Houstons. You can't compete with them. As far as the artists they bring, his way of interviewing is dope.
Right.
But a lot of these podcasts that get the recognition, and I know their quality isn't better, I know their interview style isn't better, I'm like, man, fuck y'all. Like, you know what I mean? Thankfully, I don't know
who makes these lists anyways, bro?
Perfect question. So, I don't know who makes these lists for podcasts.
I feel like they might be a little biased.
Very biased.
Okay, very biased? Okay.
When it comes to the artist lists, It'd always be the wrong people that don't know shit about art people or how our artists are actually should be listed.
Right.
The other day I went to, where did I go? I'm not even going to say because then it's going to put that out there.
Right.
And it's, I went to the spot where they were doing a mic pass and they had the top Latino podcast. The group of people putting it together are not Latino. So they're just going based off what they think are the top Latino artists. There was only 3 dope Latino artists in that spot.
So the people that were making the whole shit wasn't even Mexican, Hispanic, nothing?
No. And they only had 3 dope artists. And no disrespect to any of them other artists, but there was only 3 good artists in that whole mic pass. And I was like, who the fuck decided to add all these? And I was listening to the people spitting their verse.
Right.
It wasn't the best. And I've done this shit throughout my whole 7 years of podcasting. Right. When I tell you your music isn't great, it's not that I'm hating, it's that I'm trying to help you get better.
Right.
Their shit could be better, but they don't belong in that mix with top
10.
Yes.
Okay.
So who is making these lists? It's usually the Fools community. Soy Tan Tejano. Shouts out to them. However, just a fucking example of how they're not up to date with our Texas culture. Uh-huh. Soy Tan Tejano the other day posted a video talking about Young Easy. So this is Soy Tan Tejano, whatever the fuck voice he be making. Young Easy just showed the visuals from his latest single. And I'm like, bro, that shit dropped a year ago. Like, they don't keep up with our artists, and they
Yeah.
have the fucking nerve to get our people stirred up making their bullshit list.
Yeah.
I'm venting in this bitch.
No. Hey, man.
No,
Hey,
like-
this. I mean, you talking. You know what I'm saying? You really saying something. Like, you really speaking on some shit.
That shit bothers me because I'm like, bro, you know, if we're gonna sit here and talk about talent, and I've said this, I've tagged y'all, I've posted, I've said it on episodes. You know, obviously you,
Right.
Doughman, GT Garza, and I'll never see any of y'all on them lists.
Shout out them. Shout out Garza. Shout out Doman. Doman, I feel like definitely.
Slept on.
Yeah, I feel like he's definitely as far as like spitting, I put him top 5 in the city, maybe even top 3,
Yeah.
and not just Mexican. You know what I'm saying? GT is a fucking icon, bro. GT is a fucking slept on icon.
Does not
bro.
get the credit he deserves.
What? I was talking to him the other day, and because I listened to a lot of his old shit, and I was like, man, like, hey, you know, you might, you know, it'd be an honor if you let me do a track how you do these, you know, vent tracks, you know. I was like, but I would want you in it. He's like, man, it's dope that you even listen to that shit, bro. I'm like, bro, like, him and Coast, man, Coast to me is...
Coast could be number 1 if he wanted to. Shouts out to my boy Coast.
Coast, man, it's just... And, you know, what I was saying about GT is just kind of like... Because I remember when I did that show with him in it was like a Halloween show, like in 2020 or some shit like that, and even J-Dog was like, you know, a lot of motherfuckers don't give him appreciation. Motherfucker can't even sit or can't even be with him in a song because he gonna make him look like shit. You know, J-Dog said that shit, you know, and everybody sees it, bro. It's just, I don't know, man. I mean, the way that the way that it's put out, the way that people perceive it, or the way like people don't show that gratitude. Why? I'm not too sure yet. You know what I'm saying?
So
but
you just said something.
What's that?
Okay, so I'm not a huge fan of Peso.
Okay.
And again, I've said this shit a million times, so it's not like I'm just saying it to put you on the spot.
Okay.
But whenever I saw Garza had a song coming out with Peso, I was like, oh, Garza finna run circles on this boy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know why Garza is doing this. However, no, and there's a reason I'm saying this.
Okay.
However, they put the single out,
Right.
Garza went off, and then Peso surprised me. So it made me think. The reason a lot of these people get so comfortable, artists like Peso, is because there's nobody challenging them. Right? And the reason people like Doughman and Garza get overlooked is because they play it safe by not challenging anybody. Right? So that's the lack of hip-hop mentality, right? So where you come out and be like, man, fuck that list. I'm better than the top 5 of them motherfuckers on there. Or the top, you know, like, put OT to a side and D-Baby. Them motherfuckers been holding it down. Okay. So we won't even mention them. But, hey, I'm better than number 3, 4, and 5. Why the fuck am I not even on the top 10?
I think, man, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, you put a new perspective. Like, you making me look at it from a different perspective now. And I never even really thought about it that way. Which, I mean...
Because, man, Peso dropped his verse, bro, and I was like, why the fuck he don't rap like this all the time?
I mean, I feel like everybody has their own style of doing their own thing. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, look, bro, to keep it a buck with you, ain't nobody, especially the youngest, bro, ain't nobody listening to no rap shit no more. Unless it's on a fucking trap beat, you may have a little auto-tune on it, and you may have a little melody to it. Other than that, you gotta be talking about some crazy ass motherfucking shit, about some money, about some killing type shit for these motherfuckers to listen. Or you gotta be good looking, you know, had the swag, had the money, this and that, and then motherfuckers will listen. Yeah. I'm gonna put a good example, bro. A very great example. Griselda. You know, you got them 3 motherfuckers, Benny the Butcher, Westside Gunna, and what the fuck is the other one's name? Well, them 3 motherfuckers. They're already older, bro. And they rap on grimy New York hip hop beats, right? I would have never thought that these motherfuckers would be in the studio with fucking Hitmaker and these big artists, Ludacris, and you know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers made a career out of it, bro. But these motherfuckers are stunners, bro. These motherfuckers are out here like money, this, but they rapping on. I'm talking about like old Biggie Smalls, Big L type beats, and I pull up in the corner and you know what I'm saying? Like on some old shit, but I feel like they cracked it to where they, you know what I'm saying? This and that. That's just my opinion how I see about it. And they made their way through that door. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if you have at least one of the elements, I call them elements, to get you in through that door, you can do it how you want to do it. I'm not saying that particularly like these artists that rap good don't have that element, but I feel like this is just my opinion that you have to focus so much on that element to get you through that door for people to actually pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm not saying that they don't, which I'm not saying that is what you need to do. I'm just saying my opinion of what I think works for it. You do what I'm saying? So it's just, it's weird, bro. Like we live in a different time, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, cause I mean, imagine GT Garza in the 1990s in New York City. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Imagine GT going out there and doing this shit, doing these ciphers and shit, you know what I'm saying? At the right spot in the right time, bro. Get out of here, dog.
Yeah.
That's what I've always said about Coast. I've
Right.
always said that about Coast, like, and you just said it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I do want to bring up Coast because Coast is probably the biggest Mexican influence that I have ever had in my entire life. Yeah. A lot of people that know who Coast is and has listened to his shit, has listened to the Thinking Out Louds, to his early shit with Dope House, they always tell me you remind me of Coast. Hell yeah. Coast was like the motherfucker I wanted to be like. Coast is, to me, in my list of rappers of all time, he's top 5.
Out the gate, he was different.
Yeah.
From the get-go.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And I remember when I met him, I was sober. And GT, La Máquina, they invited me to a video shoot. And it's crazy because I saw OT out there. He had a show right in that it was like a little venue right after I was out there. And I met GT, I met Buns, you know, and I was very surprised that they even knew who I was. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. And then Coast came along. I was like, where's Coast? And Coast came along. But I done met a lot of people in my life. I done been all around this country. I have never been starstruck.
Boy started stuttering.
I said, I was like, hey, man, like, and then I just looked down, I was scratching my head. I was like, bro, hey, man, like, hey, bro, like, I wanted to say so much that I didn't say shit. I was just like, hey, man, like, hey. And then he was just kind of like, he was like, what the fuck? Like, he was just kind of like,
what's wrong with this?
Yeah, he was like, what's wrong with this? I was like, hey, bro, I was like, hey, look, man, I want to tell you, bro, like, you really paved the way for me. Like, you, like, if it wasn't for you, like, I wouldn't have been able to take this rap shit this far. Like, I just, you know, and he was like, chill out, man. Like, he was like, man, chill out, man. I was like, bro, I'm being serious. Like, I swear to God, like, on everything I love. Like, he was like, what you talking about, man? You a spitter too. And then he shook my hand, and I was just like, for that nigga to tell me you a spitter too, I was just like, oh, shit. Like, I know I'm not bad, bro. Like, I knew I wasn't bad, but right there, I knew I was good. Like, I knew I had talent. You know what I'm saying? And then we was just in there, you know what I'm saying, making a video, and then we made a song together, me, him, Buns, and GT, and that was a very interesting studio session because we all wrote our verse in the studio. I never write my verses in the studio. Hell nah. I never write my verses in the studio. We was all 4 in the studio. I was like, nah, write something fresh. Right? I guess they wanted to see maybe like, okay, let's see what you got. You know what I'm saying? I don't work like that. I may be at home at 9 a.m, hitting a couple licks, taking an Adderall, drinking a beer and writing my verse. I don't sit here and that was when I was sober, bro. So I don't have not even a fucking cigarette. And I'm like, he's like, nah, we're going to do something fresh right here. So we all right. And I'm like, nigga, like, what the fuck, you know? And I was honored. I'm very honored, you know, it was like a dream come true to me to be able to make a song with all of them. And, man, it came out dope. You know, shout out them, shout out Coast, you know, and like I said, it ain't no, I'm not saying that you need a particular thing to move, and I didn't have with these motherfuckers, bro. These motherfuckers are legends, you know what I'm saying? Like, even Doman, bro, like, Doman's fucking dope as fuck for him not to get his recognition, bro. I know he's younger and everything, but, you know, GT, Coast, you know, Buns, motherfuckers like them, bro, they deserve their flowers, you know, for sure.
And to backdoor what you said about Garza, him being a legend and whatnot, it wouldn't make sense for him to come out here and just call out, like, you know, hey, fuck your top land artist. I'm better than Peso, or I'm better than OT or whatever. You know, like if he just came out here and went rogue and started calling people out, like it wouldn't be a good look, I guess. You're right. You're
absolutely. Because I've seen motherfuckers do that.
Yeah.
I've seen motherfuckers that actually have a platform and have a name for themselves and that sell fucking shows and, you know, do tours in their states, sometimes national, and they're worried about a list.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like you feel a little entitled, you know what I'm saying? Which I get where you may be coming from, but hey man, like that's not for like, I feel like it's kind of like getting mad if somebody says you're not good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get mad if you don't say I'm not good. Like, you know, if you want to say I'm good, cool. If not, that's cool too. Like, I'm gonna do my thing regardless, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man.
Yeah. Hey, shouts out to everybody we just talked about. Shouts out to Coast. I don't like Sad Coast. You know what I mean? But shouts out to Coast. Shouts out to everybody in La Máquina, my boy GT Garza, the boy Buns. Everybody out there doing the thing. Shouts out to y'all and fuck that list. So we gonna keep it moving. Hey, fuck that list. We just spent like 15 minutes talking about it. Shouts out to everybody. And, you know, shouts out to everybody who make the list too. Because if y'all didn't make this bullshit list, we wouldn't have shit to talk about. You know,
I feel like some of them do deserve to be on the list.
Some of them do.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. And I'm not taking credit from any of them. Hell, it might just be artists I don't know about.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the ones that I do know about, I'm like, y'all don't belong on this. Y'all should be brought down. Not that they don't belong on the top 10, but maybe top 20. Maybe.
Yeah.
But then again, if you ask, when I get on Facebook and I start talking about these lists, I get a lot of people bringing up a lot of names that, like you said, maybe in the 2000s, maybe they belong on a list, but we're talking about a new list of the current top 20.
Right.
And nothing to take. I don't want to take nothing away from the legends, I guess you can say.
Right.
But when I talk about, hey, who, you know, they put out this list, who belongs on the list? People start dropping names like Juan Gotti, fucking Lucky Luciano, and it's like, bro, I get it. I grew up listening to them, but that was a 2000s list. Let's talk about the new list.
Yeah.
But shouts out to all these lists.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But hey, bro, Sony that'll drops. You said probably tomorrow.
Probably tonight at midnight. If not tomorrow at noon.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So this interview will be ready by then. You know what I mean?
Okay.
If you haven't checked out his latest music, like we said, Sonidero's already out. The video will be out at some point this week, depending on when I drop this. That's why I said that. 1982 Part 2 is currently out. Risking One Last Time is actually one of my favorites right now. Shook One's Freestyle, Hot Boy, and the interlude track is also out as well. The project, Fidel's
Food Poisoning.
coming out pretty soon. So make sure you guys stay tuned to that. Any last minute words, bro?
Nah, man. I just want to send a shout out to all my people. Shout out to my boy Wyo. Shout out to EC Martinez. Shout out to my boy Eric. You know what I'm saying, holding it down over there in Atlanta. You know. Shout out to my girl holding it down for me. Been holding it down for me for a good minute. So, you know. And shout out to everybody that's been rocking with me, you know what I'm saying? Everybody that still be listening to my shit, everybody that still be following my shit, everybody that still believe in me, including you, my boy. Sure. I appreciate that shit a lot, and it means everything to me. So, 2025, we in here. Fidel's Food Poisoning coming soon. Castro Escobar, Google me, and you will find me. You do what I'm saying? Bye.
Let's go. And once again, thank you guys for tuning in. It's your boy JVaz. This show is brought to you by La Máquina and it's brought to you by Hustle Town Network. Let's go.
Bye.